Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this video we are looking at the Play Arts Kai Appleseed Alpha BRIAREOS figure. This is a pretty cool looking figure. I kind of held off on getting these guys just because I wasn't sure if I was going to like the figures, but then when I watched the film, I said, what the heck, I'm going to get it either way. So I got him, and now I'm showing him to you. So BRIAREOS, he's supposed to be a pretty big guy, and he is. He stands about a little more than 10 inches tall to the top of his head, not counting his sensors, and he's pretty thick. Unfortunately, in order to keep him from being too thick with the removable jacket, his torso is a little bit narrow when you take his vest off, not jacket. But I imagine most people are going to keep the vest on, so it doesn't really cause too much of a problem, and then the arms are pretty thick too. So general look of the figure is really good, and it's got some nice paintwork and some nice shading and details and everything like that, and the camo's done pretty well. Looks pretty good. My only real gripe, and I'll just mention it right off the top here, is the way the feet are. They look kind of long and clown shoe-like, but other than that, it's a really well done figure. It has some of the new features that we've seen in some of the more recent Play Arts Kai figures, so I'm really excited to have it. He does come with the standard Play Arts Kai display stage, and he has some accessories. So you can see he has the two fist hands, so that's cool. He has the vest, which I already mentioned is removable. So that's cool, it's really soft. And the sensors are fairly soft, so you don't have to really worry about those breaking. They will warp, but a little hot water or hot air should fix them. So the vest can come off. And then he's got his sniper rifle. I think these are supposed to come down the bipod, but mine are both stuck, so I'm not going to bother anyway. But I think those are meant to come down. It looks like they should, but that's pretty well detailed, nicely sculpted. Looks good. He can hold it just fine, so that's good. Also comes with his pistol, which I have in his trigger finger hand. So that's pretty good. It's got a nice sculpt on it, a little bit of paint. Then we have this hand, which is kind of a semi-closed hand, which would be for holding the rifle, I assume. Then we have two mostly open hands, which you could use for whatever you want. But they have good amount of detail, paint and sculpt-wise. I know the paint's pretty monochromatic, but we do have a little bit of a greenish hue to the fingers and a little bit of that brownish gunmetal to the top of the palm, so that's pretty good. And then the vest itself looks pretty good, a lot of nice sculpted detail. The paintwork on there is decent. I do think these pouches back here are supposed to be black, and I know none of them are. I've seen pictures of this guy from other people. They're for the figure, they're meant to be green, but I'm pretty sure in the show or in the movie they were at least really dark, but maybe even black. That's not a real big deal because we have nice shading and texturing everywhere else. Now as for the rest of the figure, the sculpt is really spot on. You can see we have a lot of that carbon fiber going on around there. Lots of details, or little like rivety details going on throughout the rest of the body. Really cool sculpt work. Paintwork is a little hit or miss. We have some splotchiness. I think that's actually from the vest rubbing, but I'm not certain on that. But it's not that real big of a deal because I'm going to keep the vest on mostly anyway. But lots of really nice detail you can see on the back of his head. We can make out the words, so that's good. Lots of sculpt detail going on in the face. And then just lots more detail going on everywhere else. Really can't complain too much about this guy. It looks really good. They did a good job pretty much with everything. One thing that's a little odd to me, I don't remember because I wasn't paying that close of attention to it while I was watching it. He's got a really big holster for his sidearm, and then the sidearm that they gave him is fairly small, and it seems like it's way too small for the holster. So I don't know what the story is with that. If anybody can clear that up or knows anything about that, you can let me know. But that's weird. That is meant for a big gun. A gun that's like twice as big as this one almost. So that's pretty strange. But this gun's the right size, so I don't know if that's just oversized or I'm not sure what's going on. So I don't know. I can't really talk on that anymore. As far as articulation goes, the head's on a double ball peg, and we get some really good range of motion out of it. And we don't really get too much gapping going on. I mean, it's there, obviously, because you have to have space, but it doesn't look too bad in most poses. The sensors are posable, so that's good. I do wish they had a hinge, because a lot of the time he has them kind of folded a little bit, but that's okay. They don't have that. Shoulders have the standard butterfly joint, although it doesn't give them a huge range of motion. It is in there. And then this part of the shoulder is actually connected to the bicep, So that's at the bicep swivel, so that'll move with the arm. So that's kind of good. We have the standard ratcheted elbow ball hinge where it'll swivel in the bicep and the forearm and ratchet. So that's okay. We have the same type of joint for the wrist. The torso has a double ball peg in there. It goes pretty far back and pretty far forward. They did a pretty good job with this one. I'm pretty happy with that. I just said pretty a whole bunch, but it all fits, so I'm gonna leave it. So the torso works pretty well. I said it again. Wow, I can't stop saying it. Oh man, I'm losing it. I think I'm gonna stop doing reviews altogether. Oh well, let's put the vest back on and see how the torso articulation works. We'll see if it's pretty. So this vest just pegs into these holes on the left and on the right side. There's 3 of them. So that I like that they hid the snaps underneath the straps. Looks pretty good. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna stop saying that altogether. Yeah, it's soft enough so that you can still do the articulation, so that's good. Then the lower torso has just a big ball peg that lets the whole upper body move around, so that gives you a whole lot of range of motion with no issues. So that's good. The floating hip piece is not huge like we've seen on some other figures. Everything looks pretty well tucked in, so that's nice. We have ratchets going side to side, ratchets going forward, thigh swivel in here, double jointed knee that is on the new style knee. It looks really good down here. Up here there's still kind of a gap, but it's definitely better than we've seen in the past from PlayArts Kai, so that's exciting. I like that they're moving in a good direction with those. This top piece definitely could have been better. It's not horrible though. Now the ankle, let's talk about the ankle. We have the same kind of joint in the ankle that we had in the elbow and in the wrist. So we have ratcheting forward and back, and then we can swivel and technically give them an ankle rocker, but it pegs in almost completely vertically so that you don't really get an ankle rocker unless you rotate it all the way around. And that's going to be tricky because this is firm. This is not soft plastic, so it does limit the ankle a little bit. We have this toe hinge, which is really far back in the foot, and he's got really long toes and just kind of clown feet like I mentioned. So I don't know about the feet too much. I don't think that's going to be a real big deal because you can pose him, and once you pose him you're not going to notice the feet. There goes the hand. Okay, well, we'll put this hand on him. Alright, let's go hand. That hand does not want to go on easily, but it will go on. Alright, so once you pose him, I don't think you're going to have too much trouble with the feet looking weird because he looks good otherwise. And I know you're curious about the size with Dunin, so I will include that in the photo section here at the end. So I'm going to pose him up and you guys can see what he looks like in action. But there it is. I definitely recommend this figure. It looks good. Nice accessories, nice articulation, nice sculpt. Really can't complain too much at all. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see my upcoming figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.